Driving while intoxicated, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 180 days in jail. It is probated for 12 months. As part of the probation, you will do a DWI education class, 2 victim impact panels. You must do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. If they assess other conditions, you must fulfill those conditions. No breath test refusal, meaning if you were pulled over in a car and an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must submit. If you don't, you're in violation of this probation. A guardian interlock, 30 hours of community service, a $100 donation, one time to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, no drugs, no alcohol. Random analysis. Is this how you understand the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, sir.
Does he have any prior DWIs?
He had one that was dismissed a long time ago, and it was no probable cause based on no alcohol consumption out of Galveston. So
Yes.
we tried to get a pizza at the Courtroom, but it's just because of that. He had a theft when he was a kid, like 17 years old, but it was
Just one.
yeah. But he was he was 17 and he had an employee theft, and then he picked up another theft, but they didn't revoke his probation. It was like $100 from a cash register, but that was a long time ago. He's a volleyball coach. He's a good citizen. He's a good guy. He's turned his life around. His parents are here to support him. He made a mistake this night drinking. He understands that. He's taking responsibility for that. He's doing whatever he can to move forward. And he's in a financial hardship now. That's why we're asking for a reduction in the DPS fine. I've worked with him on payment plans and stuff. I'm going to waive all my fees so he can succeed. So.
The question is, at what point do you get it, Mr. Burrows? You know, you've already had one DWI dismissed. You now have another one. While you're on bond, you have bond violations. So for you to come here and tell me that you've changed and that you're a different person and this and that goes in one ear, goes out the other. I don't believe it. Actions speak louder than words. And you can lie to me, but you can't lie to yourself, you know, and your record, you know, life is hard enough being a young Black man in America today, right? And the more convictions you get, all you're doing is you're making life more difficult. With these theft cases that you get, with these DWI, I mean, it's one of the worst cases that you can possibly pick up, because these theft cases brands you as a thief, and people are scared to hire potential thieves, because I'm always going to be thinking, well, if I hire him to work for me, I know that he's got not only one prior theft, but 2 prior thefts. Is he going to steal from me? Same thing now happens with the DWI. You've had one dismissed. Now you have another one. What's it going to take for you to get that we mean business, that public safety is a primary concern? And when you don't get it, and when you continue to pick up criminal cases, there are really grave consequences. You need to understand that from now on, after today, you're looking at a minimum of 30 days in jail. No, hold on a second. $90 days in jail at a minimum for any new cases you pick up here in county court. Don't matter how small it is, from now on, you are looking at a minimum of 90 days in jail. Not only that, you pick up another theft, you could be potentially charged with a felony, because they use those as a stepladder to enhance punishment. And when you don't get it, they combine all those to get up to felony court. You could be potentially facing that. You pick up another theft case as well. Some point you got to get it. And I hope that this is it. And usually, in my experience, being here, at times when we go too easy on people, they still don't get it. You're skirting out of here today. You're getting probation. You're getting no jail time. You're not getting your license suspended. Now they want me to waive. Michael wants me to waive the fines and fees. I mean,
I think he has his family.
why would we reward
I want him to succeed, and that's what I think the problem is, that if he doesn't have the money to succeed, it's going to be very hard. He's going to try everything in his power to succeed financially. I just think that's going to be a burden on him. I took it upon myself to forego my fees, and I'm doing whatever I can to help him.
And that's great.
Yeah, I understand
Michael,
that. I just don't think he can't afford it. He physically can't afford it. We're putting the burden on his parents who are here to support him. They're in the back. They're here. He's going to be staying with them to reduce whatever fees he has to try to, get back on his feet. But he's trying, Judge. He is. He's been in constant contact with me. We talk every other day. He's literally trying. He really is. And I think if you give him a shot here, he's going to do whatever he can to prove it wrong.
I don't have to accept this agreement. I could say, no, I don't want this. Well, I'm jail time. I will accept your agreement, Mr. Burrows, but I want you to understand that if you come back here and try to tell me that you test positive again because of makeup, that kind of excuse is such that every single person who puts makeup on gets intoxicated. Really? So if you come up here while you're on this probation and you test positive for alcohol, it tells me that you have a problem. And I'm giving you fair warning now that you will go into a rehab facility. I can amend the conditions to put you in a lockdown rehab facility for, at a minimum, 9 months to 10 months, if you respond well to treatment. I will accept it, but I'm telling you now, if you test positive for whatever it may be, get ready. And I hope that and I want to read a repeat offender DWI education class. I don't want just a garden variety. Your record speaks and tells everyone in the whole world about you. So if you ever get pulled over again, you need to understand that you will probably get harassed. So if I were you, I wouldn't ever, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, a glass of wine, I wouldn't get into a car because you're begging for trouble. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, I understand.
You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, this will go on your record, Mr. Burrows. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. From now on, like I said, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. You must do your classes on time. You pick up a new case, you test positive for alcohol, you know what's going to happen. I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to put you in jail. I'm going to bring you back out. And we're going to talk about if you violated, if you did, how, and what the appropriate remedy will be. And it could be 180 days in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not?
Guilty, yes, sir.
You need to understand that one of the things that they're ordering you to do is a TRAS. This is an evaluation. They may assess
We've done it.
intensive outpatient treatment.
We've done
Who's done the TRAS?
Outpatient.
Recommended IOP SOP.
Okay, I think that's a good thing, right?
May I say a word, please?
Sure thing.
Once again, I do appreciate, the second chance. When I went to jail for a year when I was 17, and that's when I was in high school.
Shh.
It's been 18 years ago. I've been a completely different person. I coach volleyball, I do a lot. I do give back a lot, and I do understand that this record will carry on without my life. I've already realized that, and I've been doing things a lot different. I did make a mistake. I did end up, drinking and driving. The first case I admit. After that, I haven't told you a lie at all. It was more than just makeup. It was paint, body paint, full transformation. I do a lot on Halloween. I did not know that I was seeking to my ankle, and I haven't lied to you about that. Once again, I do appreciate the second chance. I'm a lot different than what my record says that I am. That happened when I was in high school, 17, 18, I'm 35 now. haven't been in trouble since. I know you did see DWI on there. I was leaving work, didn't have a sip of alcohol. I asked to do a breathalyzer. They wouldn't let me do a breathalyzer. That was leaving from Kima. They have an ongoing case. I didn't have a sip of alcohol. That's the reason why I got thrown out. I didn't have a sip of alcohol. I asked them to do a breathalyzer. I was being harassed for that whole
Talking about the
month.
first case in
Sir.
Galveston.
I was being harassed for a whole month. 14 times I got pulled over. The last time before that one, I told them, I said, you know, there's a reason why you pulling me over. And that's why I told them. The next time I got pulled over on 146. They didn't even give me a chance to even do a breathalyzer. And that's the reason why I got thrown out. Is because I asked to do a breathalyzer, they didn't take my blood, they didn't take anything. They wanted to take me to jail because of some beef that's happening in between the Kima bars and Kima PD. I changed my life a lot. I didn't lie to you last time I was here. I wasn't aware that that would set off my scram device. I had super glue that I was putting up, fingernail polish remover. Last time I didn't speak because I was on my anxiety medication, so I didn't really speak, but I can speak a lot better today because I haven't taken it the last 2 days. But that's what ended up happening. Once again, I do appreciate you for giving me a second chance, but just want to let you know I didn't lie to you last time I was here.
If you think that people and officers messed with you last time, what do you think is going to happen now?
I do understand that, sir.
You know, and
I do understand.
the only thing that I'm trying to impart to you is don't give them the ability to do that by smelling like alcohol, smelling like weed. Because when you get into a car, the faintest, funkiest smell of whatever, it's a great excuse for them to take you down.
Yes, sir. This time I did drink. I did not admit
Look,
that.
you don't
Yes,
have
sir.
to say anything now, but
Yes, sir.
I want you to appreciate the gravity of it, because when officers like me, I don't know you. I have but a mere 10 seconds, 20 seconds, maybe 5 minutes to get to know who Sydney Burroughs is.
Yes, sir.
One of the things I use to find out who you are is your record.
I understand.
So when an officer pulls you over, they're going to see DWI, theft. And I don't know if there's other things as well, because I don't get access to everything. But when they see that, they're going to be, holy moly. If they go up to your car, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, if they have a DWI 1, if they have a DWI 2nd, and now they come up to you and they smell something,
I do understand.
don't give them ammunition to fire a gun at you. Life is hard enough as it is. Anyways, look,
Yes, sir.
done preaching. So just comply with these things and we will be happy.
Yes, sir.
Michael, and I'm going to tell you now that I will waive your court costs and your supervisory fees.
Thank you, Judge.
But if you come back with another DWI, I want you to understand that the next time on a second, you're facing around $6,000 at a minimum of supervisory fees, not to mention court costs of another $500-600. So it's on a second DWI, you're facing around $7,000.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir. I understand.
Get the message. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Which devices are we giving him?
So what do you have now? Do you have the scram?
Yeah, he like the interlock, what they agreed to.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm okay with that. First, you got to get the interlock. Once you get the interlock, we'll take the scram off. I've been paying for your device now. While you're on probation, I can't pay for it. You're going to have to pay for that yourself.
Yes, sir. I understand.
But I'm going to, cut his fines and fees. Please.
To observe the monitor.
Again and again and again and again, Mr. Woods. Eight 14-23, assault of a family member. 6-9-24, violation of protective order, assault bodily injury. Another assault bodily injury. February of 24, assault of a pregnant person. for which you're on deferred now, and now you've picked up another. You now stand charged with criminal mischief. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cases, all in a matter of months. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Mr. Woods.
Yes, Judge. The defendant was traveling with the complainant to go see the defendant's child with his child's mother. The defendant continued attempting to be sexual with his child's mother, and the complainant engaged in a verbal altercation with the defendant. Upon arriving home, the defendant exited the vehicle and the complainant drove to a store close to her home. The defendant took the complainant's iPad and walked and followed the complainant to the Kroger. The defendant then jumped on the complainant's hood as she was driving and struck her window multiple times with a rock, causing damage to her vehicle. Estimated damage was $300.
Who is the complaining witness in this case?
The complaining witness in this case is a Jacqueline Perry, who is the same complainant in the assault of a pregnant person.
Tell me he's not supposed to have contact with this complaining witness? Guys,
Morgan.
Mr. Woods is on deferred for assault of a pregnant person.
Yes, Judge, I'm emailing the felony prosecutor right now.
Was he, as a condition of that, not to?
No threatening, harassing, or abusive contact with the complainant in that case.
Mr. Woods, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm now sending you for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. If you fail to go take the test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to revoke your bond and I'm going to make it so high. On one ankle, I'm going to put a GPS monitor because I'm ordering you not to have contact with this person, and you've shown repeatedly that you are incapable of following bond conditions. And I'm going to put a 1,000-foot radius that you're not to have any contact with this person. You're not to have any weapons. You're not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. And I'm going to test you repeatedly so I know that you're not using, but I'm sending you now for a drug test. Like I said, you failed the test, and if you fail to come back, things will not go well. Do you understand, Mr. Woods? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Take a seat for me. Mr. Burrows, you're charged with driving.
To observe the monitor to be shattered, and there was also damage to the headset and controller. The complainant estimates the cost of damage to be $1,120.
Okay, Ms. Solis, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. How old are you, ma'am?
I'm 22.
Are you here with anyone today?
I'm
Are
sorry.
you here with anyone today? What do you do for a living?
Nurse student in Memorial Herman.
Do you have any kind of income whatsoever?
I would say I make about 1,000 a year, 1,000 a week.
All right, would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to have you fill out an application with Stephen. We need to work and we need to figure out what we're going to do, because typically in these types of cases, I bar you from having contact with the complaining witness in this case, meaning that you're not allowed to have contact with your brother.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't know where you live. I don't know if you live with him. So what I'm going to, don't say anything now. I have a bunch of DAs here. What you say could hurt you. I'll appoint you a lawyer today, but we need to find out the family dynamic, because if you pick up a new case, you start acting a fool in the free world. I'm going to take the free world away from you, and I'm going to put you in jail, and I'm going to make your bond high. And you have to understand that if you don't have anyone that's going to post your bond, you will sit there in jail until this case is over with. And I'm going to tell you, it takes about 9 months just to get a 911 tape, and all that you're working for, all that schooling to become a nurse, where does it go? Right. So we'll figure out that here momentarily. So do not leave until we let you go, though. Okay. Stephen's getting
Here on Mr. Bruss, I hope I say this right. Brace Kane, 251-5735. criminal mischief.
Okay,
And I thought we had a deal in place.
so
A
he told us last time that he would have the $1,200 ready to go.
they sent him a bill for 4,000.
Okay. Alex, what's up with that?
So the
What's up with that? What's up with
the
that?
bill we have is for 3,900, 1,575.
I have here my notes on 10-1, it was $1,200. I guess it changed.
This is for a Mr. Kane. Yes.
Yeah.
The bill we have is stated the amount due is 39,1575. That's the amount due with the
Okay.
bill.
I guess let me speak to Chief and see what, because
Yeah.
I mean, understand it's not with me, it's whatever it was.
I got you.
My notes are all, can be wrong. Hey, I'm sorry to bother you.
No, it's okay.
This is Mr. Kane. In my notes here, I have it beginning of October, the restitution was at $1,200, but I'm guessing it's, or I'm being told it's more now. I don't know what happened.
The bill, 39,1575. Yeah, and there's
Right.
and there's a receipt too for that.
So Judge, I think initially the confusion with the 1,000 is in the DIMS, the estimation was around $1,000. But when we talked to the complainant, received the invoices and estimates, it's to the tune of $3,900.
Okay. That's what it is. I mean, it's
Got it.
right. I can't argue with them. They got a bill. That's what they're saying it is. For you to get this case dismissed, that's what the DAs want. They want to make the other person whole. As if it had never happened, the criminal mischief had never happened. To put them in the same place is, what is it? What happened?
3,915.
Right, I understand, but what was it? Was it a car? Was it a computer? An elephant?
The door, Your Honor.
Wow, that's a hell of a door. Made of gold or what?
Mahogany door. So.
I don't know what to tell you, but your other option is to go to trial. You know, those are the two options that you can pay that money and they end up dismissing the case. You can accept another plea bargain if they have one.
Your Honor, there's no offers on the case right now besides the
You
restitution.
can, if you guys, Mr. Goins, want, you can try to get a different plea bargain. The case is 160 days old, so I will only give you a couple more weeks, but at 180 days, we set cases for trial. So at that time, you need to let us know what you want to do. And if you have not reached a plea bargain agreement with the state, we end up setting your case for trial. I don't know. I don't want you to make a decision now. Guys need to go back and talk and just, you guys decide what you would want to do. And you can always request a different plea bargain if you don't like the one that you have, but they don't have to do anything if they don't want to. It's the state and they reserve the right to, even if they don't want to, they don't have to give you a plea bargain. So I guess you guys step back and let me know what you want to
They
do.
have to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt.
So, Mr. Goins, before you guys leave today, just
I'll let you know.
just give me a heads up what you guys want to
I
do.
sure will. Thank you.
This way, sir.
This is
So
the turning
I-
point of the hearing. The judge isn't simply accepting a plea agreement. He's making sure the defendant fully understands what's at stake. Legally, probation is an opportunity to avoid jail, but it comes with strict conditions that must be followed without exception. Judge Fleischer repeatedly emphasizes that another DWI, another positive alcohol test, or another violation could trigger jail time or even mandatory rehabilitation. Instead of focusing only on punishment, he's explaining how repeated offenses permanently affect employment, future opportunities, and interactions with law enforcement. The judge's message is clear. Actions matter far more than promises. What do you think? Should repeat DWI defendants receive another chance through probation, or should jail become mandatory after multiple offenses? Keep watching, because the judge's final warning leaves absolutely no room for misunderstanding. The boardroom fell silent the moment security walked toward me. My daughter-in-law, Emily, smiled confidently from the head of the conference table and pointed straight at me. "Escort her out," she said. "She no longer works here." Every executive watches two security guards approach my chair. Some looked uncomfortable. Others looked away. Emily believed she had won. What she didn't know was that the company she was trying to take from me had been built by my late husband and me over 35 years. I simply stood up, smiled, and picked up my handbag. "I'll leave," I said calmly. "But before I do, I think everyone deserves to know who actually owns this company." Emily laughed. "Oh, please," she said. "You're just a retired consultant. My husband is a CEO now." Several people nodded, believing every word. None of them knew the truth. 3 years earlier, after my husband passed away, I quietly stepped away from the public eye. I handed daily operations to my son, Daniel, while keeping one important detail private. I still own 62% of the company's shares. No one outside our lawyer and accountant knew. Emily thought fancy suits, luxury cars, and expensive offices made someone powerful. She never imagined the woman she mocked for wearing simple clothes still controlled every major decision. I reached into my purse and made one phone call. "Michael," I said, "please bring the shareholder records to the boardroom." 20 minutes later, our corporate attorney walked in carrying a thick leather folder. The room grew quiet. He placed the official documents on the table. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announced, "Mrs. Carter remains a majority shareholder with 62% ownership. Under company bylaws, she has full authority over executive appointments." Emily's confident smile disappeared. Daniel looked at me in complete shock. Michael continued, "Effective immediately, Mrs. Carter has voted to remove Emily from all executive positions." Emily jumped to her feet. "You can't do this." I looked directly into her eyes. "No, Emily," I replied quietly. "You did this yourself the moment you believed respect was less important than power." The same security guards who had been ordered to remove me now stood beside Emily. This time, they escorted her out to the boardroom. No one spoke. As the doors closed behind her, I turned toward my son. "This company was never just about money," I said. "It was built on integrity. The day we forget that is the day we lose everything." For the first time in years, the room erupted into applause, not because I had won, but because the truth had finally been revealed.
There weren't violations that couldn't be excused or explained because what happens is she takes Adderall. And so that's what I think the issue was.
No, I'm sorry, not on that second. And it's not just you. It's just, I have before, and people have ran, like literally the week after, they wrapped their car around the pole.
So,
And
if I can, and it may or may not impact your decision, you know, she does not have a license, does not drive. Okay, she has that scooter that she's owned that we talked about that's under 8 horsepower, whatever it is.
is it one of those Costco scooters that you cannot take on the street?
Yes, she can't really get on the street with it, Judge. It's not one of those, and she has a license and has not had one. Okay. Now, I know there's going to be an imposition of a suspension of any license that she may have. I know that will be coming at her. The big issue with the probation, because that's one of the things that we first had talked about, she has to take care, and she's the sole provider for an elderly father. She doesn't drive, is unable to drive him back and forth and everything, but he depends like 100% on her. Now, my concern with the probation, and it was the thing that we kind of tossed about yesterday, is if she's forced to be in a position of making a decision of doing something for her dad versus appear for a urine test or appear for an office visit or something like that, she's going to defer and say, "I'm going to take care of my dad. My dad's life means more than me reporting."
Probation will never interfere with anything that someone has to do for work, caring for another person. They will always work around. So if she gets called in for a drug test, all she has to do is say, "Hey, I can't come. You know, I can come tomorrow." They're not going to give you grace. Once I can allow virtual reporting as well, so that she can report via Zoom. You know, if she's doing well, she will still have to, you know, I mean, she's going to have a guardian interlock, right? Because that's what we do on all probations, especially on the second. So
she doesn't have a vehicle, doesn't drive, doesn't have a license.
She'll have a portable.
There's a monitor on her Can I have her come forward?
Sure.
Come forward, Mrs. Gonzalez, if you don't mind.
I get she's got to monitor her ankle and I'm paying for it now, right?
And it is killing her leg.
We'll take that off. We'll give her a portable device.
That has to be modified because it doesn't look good at all.
Her looks is the least of my concern.
It's painful, Judge, you know what I'm saying? It's painful.
Hello, Judge.
Hi,
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, sir. Thank you.
What we had discussed, Judge, just so, and there's a full disclosure now since we're talking, Marissa had agreed to have a plea to the DWI probation with the terms, including the treatment that's been recommended by the TROs and all this type of stuff, which we had agreed that would be one of the ways to resolve it. And that would still have them dismiss the PCS. But once we talked about the idea of setting her up for failure, if you would, I wasn't comfortable that she would be able, or this court might even be able to accommodate issues that would arise because she couldn't either get to her meeting or
We can always accommodate.
testing.
Always. There's never a way that we can't. Never doesn't work in our vocabulary. And the thing that I want you to understand is that I don't, you now, once you plead, if you plead to this, it's going to go on your record. It is now a second offense. And the last thing we want is for you to graduate to felony status where you're looking at 2 to 10 in the penitentiary.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And I want to make sure that you understand that there are consequences to behavior. You need to understand that if you ever get in a car, you smell like alcohol, you smell like dope, they're not going to care whether you're spilling, fall down ass drunk, where you've urinated yourself, whether you're vomit. It doesn't take that for them to file a felony charge on you. Even the faintest smell of alcohol, the faintest droopy eyelids, the faintest sway in the wrong way, they're going to charge you with a felony DWI. And now you're looking at up to 10 years in prison. I, at all costs, want to make sure that that doesn't happen. And in my experience, what I've seen when people have too easy, right? It never works out well. And I don't think that a time served on a DWI second is appropriate. I understand that you may take care of other people. I understand that you may have life issues. Actions have consequences. You not only have this DWI second, but you also have a felony possession of a controlled substance. He's worked a tremendous deal where they're going to dismiss the felony case. I'm going to tell you now, anytime you can avoid a felony, you're winning. Anytime, it doesn't matter. Because once you get that felony conviction, I cannot tell you how many doors that closes. And not only just from potential work, but I'm talking issues with the state, being able to get state resources, funding for things like food stamps, perhaps lose the right to vote. Just, it really closes a lot of doors. And I want to make sure that that doesn't happen, So,
Judge.
we usually, now this is a second, you by law must do 5 days in jail as a condition to probation, right? I don't know if you guys have worked out an agreement where they're going to waive that and plead it down to a first, thereby waiving the jail time, but there's mandatory 5 days in jail as a result of this. That's what you need to understand, which is the other consequence of this. Now, if they're willing to do that, I'm certainly okay with that, but time served. And the probation, if you do well in the beginning and you show us that we can trust you, we will allow you to do virtual reporting through Zoom. But we have to know that you're going to do well. There are not going to be any issues. And most importantly, you're not going to use.
Absolutely, sir.
Because that's what matters.
Yes, sir.
All we're trying to do here is make sure that you don't take a life on the road. So that you have enough of a crappy experience here that 15 years down the road, when you're placed in a position where you're intoxicated out there, man, should I get this car? I had such a miserable time in court with that Judge Fleischer. God, I never want that experience again. That's the idea.
Yes,
Because I
sir.
want you to remember me 20 years from now when you're in a position of vulnerability where you make the right decision.
Absolutely. Yes,
And
sir.
hopefully with the probation, we get you to understand.
Absolutely, sir. I agree. It's fine.
Now, you have a probation officer, right? Your probation officer is always willing to work with you. If they call you in for a drug test and you're in some kind of situation where you can't, you let them know. We will give you the line to Shatoria here. She's absolutely an angel, is always willing to help you out. We can give you a direct access to her. Or if you have a problem, call us, call me, call her, and we will work something out.
Sir.
But there's never a way that we can't work something out. There's always a way. There's always a way. Always.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Give me a minute or two to
No
talk to
rush.
Mike, Judge.
No rush. And I mean, your case, Mr. Knowles, it's only what, like 140 days, right?
We'll have it over with today, Judge.
Or you don't have to.
But I think we're at that point. So I think just a little conversation, I think we should be able to get.
Okay. For sure.
And I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Instead of the golden interlock, they're gonna, instead of the golden interlock, they're gonna do a
Portable
portable
device,
device.
no
So
problem.
That's,
Yes, that's fine.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Gonzalez, I want you to understand one thing, that it's not you, it's not your lawyer. He's done a great job and has zealously advocated on your behalf. But on a second DWI, you know, we have proverbial slaps on the wrist for DWI first, right? I get it. People make mistakes. It happens. We all make mistakes in life, right? But you can't continue to make the same mistake and expect the same result and reward, right? Because the proverbial slap on the wrist, the so-called time served, right, is exactly what it is, because you're supposed to do jail time on a DWI, right? And when you're walking out of here, you know, and there's no jail time, it's basically, it's kind of like a reward, right?
Absolutely.
But you can't continue to pick up DWIs and expect rewards. We don't work like that. We don't operate like that. And we want you to learn. And believe it or not, I really care for you. And I want to see you succeed. I want to see you do well. But no more proverbial slaps on the wrist. There now is a lot of baggage that you're going to have on your back following today and for the rest of your life. You know, after today, you're going to have these 2 DWIs on your record. Like I've been harping on you over and over. You get into a car, the slightest smell of whatever it is, they're probably going to take you down and charge you with a felony. And if you thought this was expensive, if you thought this was bad, wait till you get upstairs. There are judges up there that just watch out. Now, you guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 180 days in jail to be probated for 16 months. As part of the conditions, you will do thinking for a change. You will do a repeat offender DWI education class. You will do 2 victim impact panels. You will also do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need.
Just completed.
Any recommended thinking for a change?
Okay, well, okay. I'm surprised to know, no outpatient, no, not necessarily residential, but no outpatient treatment at a minimum. You know, typically in these cases, when we see these, they usually order, you know, intensive outpatient treatment or supportive outpatient treatment, which is kind of like a like AA-ish type issue. So regardless, if that's what they think, then that's what they think. I'm going to follow it. So that's what you must do. No breath test refusal. So if you're pulled over in a car and an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must do it. If you don't, you're in violation of the probation. 30 hours of community service and a guardian interlock. Do you have children, Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think that you probably be better served to do instead of the dumbass community service, to do it like a parenting class, because I think that has more value than just working on the street. Now, like I said, all we want you to do is learn from this, take these classes, take it to heart so that you don't ever come back.
Yes, sir.
If you do well, after some time, I will allow you to report via Zoom, okay?
Yes,
You
sir.
got to also understand that when you're doing these probations, these probation officers have your life in their hands, right? If you are nice to them, crack a joke with them, if you're their first appointment in the morning, you're probably going to get someone on their good side. If you go in there at 4 p.m, you've got a bunch of excuses, right? They're probably not going to be happy. They're going to be irritated. They're going to want to go home. Don't expect any good thing. In life, that's how it goes. If you're nice, you get more with honey than you do with vinegar.
Yes, sir.
Same thing with a probation officer.
Gotcha.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, you can never change this or undo this.
Yes,
If
sir.
you violate this probation, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. We're going to put you in jail, bring you back out, talk about if you violate your probation. If you do, you're looking at 180 days in jail.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Absolutely.
How do you plead to the offense, ma'am? I will find you guilty. I will follow the agreement. Is there an accident in this case, Michael?
No, Judge.
Okay. I have to suspend your license. I'm going to suspend it for a year. Do you have a license now?
No, sir.
Okay. I think that that's probably what we should also do, is try to get her license. Have you ever had a license?
I did have a license. It got suspended with the first DWI. And back then they had a bunch of extra fees. It was the
Surcharges.
yeah, so I wasn't able to get it back because it was so high. Then they canceled all that out. I had just finished paying off everything to reinstate my license 2 weeks maybe prior to this happening here.
Michael, do you mind running her license?
Yes, Judge.
Did you handle the ALR hearing by chance?
I did not. There was
Okay,
nothing to handle.
On a subsequent, it's usually a 2-year license suspension when it comes with regards to the ALR. So it may very well that you may have a 2-year license suspension.
I do see that she's not eligible, Judge.
ALR,
Yes.
2-year. I mean, it
says-
depends what happened with the first ALR too.
Well, it actually says that she was suspended because due to no insurance. It's a surcharge due, no insurance.
You know when that was, sir?
Did you get a ticket for no insurance?
No, sir. I haven't gotten pulled over. This was the first time in many years.
Let's make sure.
I just know that it began September 15th of 2024, the suspension. And the end date, I think this is like in perpetuity until she gets something fixed.
Here, Lonnie, do you mind giving me that piece of paper? This is the driver's license division. The number, will you make sure it's 2600? I don't know if she can read that. I kind of wrote it
It's
funky.
2,600.
It's 2600. That's the number to the driver's license division for DPS. Call them and then they can tell you what you need to do to get your license. But you need to get your license.
Okay, yes, sir.
Just, you got to get it.
I'm allowed to go get it if I can.
Yeah, of course. But
Thank you, sir.
before you just go do anything, call them first. And when you call them at 7 a.m. Don't call at 8. Don't call at 9. Don't call at 1 because you'll never get through. As soon as the phone line's open at 7, that's when you call.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any questions?
No, sir.
Judge, there was a couple of things they were asking for the guardian interlocks. She does not drive or anything like that. And she has the monitor on now that's uncomfortable. Can we give her the portable device for now?
So, no. I want to switch it from the Scram to the portable.
Okay.
So, but first get the portable, then we'll take off the Scram.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that you're not using, and the best way, first get that one. As soon as you do that, we'll take the other one off. But we want to make sure that you have that one on first. So yeah, one of the conditions on this probation is that you maintain a guardian interlock. Now, because you're not driving, understand that you're going to be signing an affidavit today, promising me you're not going to drive.
Yes, sir.
Do not drive. I don't care what your excuse is. I don't care what's good. If there's a burning building, it doesn't matter. Just don't drive.
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
The other thing, Judge, and this is just our way of refreshing the court's recollection, and there's been no alcohol that was found either in the results from the lab, and there's never been any alcohol associated with this particular DWI. This is one that was based upon
Sure.
some drugs, not even a synergistic type of a matter, it's simply they were drugs. So just so the court will be aware, there was zero alcohol in the system as a result of this.
Okay. Remember, DWI is not just alcohol. If you take too much NyQuil, what happens?
Yes, sir.
Right. Anything where it affects the normal use of your mental and or physical faculties.
Absolutely.
Right.
Your Honor.
Oh, I think that's it.
That's it. And just so you and I know how serious you take these matters, and I don't want to belabor it, but the idea is that we had already put in place, do you have Brittany's card with you?
It's in my folder.
Okay. So we had already dealt with the writ court people. There's a program director, Brittany, I can't remember her name now.
Would
But
you like for me to grab it?
no, that's okay. We have a card and everything. So treatment was going to already be a part of
Right.
this agreement, independent of a formal writing, but I think this is the best thing to do in this circumstance.
When's the last time she's been tested? Have you done a test late?
I can check it.
Yeah, we need to. Now, Mr. Knowles, we have one more thing. The surcharge.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna ask that be waived. There's no way that she can afford those things at all. If I need to prove it up, you need to prove up on it, or
What do you do for a living?
Take care of my father at home.
Do you get paid by the state for doing that?
No, sir. Because I live with him. I don't know what that's what they told me.
How do you get money? How do you survive?
I mean, he gives me whatever I can, and he gets money from Social Security retirement.
What does he get?
2,600 a month, something like that.
So you guys share that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Knowles, I'll waive the DPS surcharge.
Judge, the last
Thank
test
you,
was
sir.
on September 19th.
Negative?
I believe what it tested positive for was a prescription that she
The edible.
currently possesses.
Okay, all right. Yeah, just stay clean. That's all we're
Absolutely.
asking. Okay, all right,
Waiving supervision, please, sir?
sure. It's not about the money.
Judge.
It's never about the money.
I know, sir.
Just doing what you say you're gonna do
Absolutely.
in the time that you're supposed to do it. All right, guys,
Yes, Your Honor.
good luck.
Thank you, sir.
thank you, Judge. I appreciate it. Mike, thank
You
you.
have a great
Look, Ms.
Thanksgiving.
Gonzalez.
Thank you, sir.
Trustee Lawrence?
No. And Judge,
The raising end,
Racing him.
the racing.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir. So you're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant, and this is a Class B misdemeanor. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. We're going to do probable cause. Just hang tight, please.
Officers were dispatched to a disturbance between the defendant and an Uber driver in Harris County, Texas. The officer stated that when he arrived, both parties were calm and smoking with one another. Officer stated that he saw that the defendant was intoxicated and asked whether the defendant's wife would come and get him. The defendant said his wife would. And the defendant and the Uber driver began going back and forth with each other about charges. An officer made the decision to detain the defendant and take him to a sobering center. Officer asked the defendant to put his hands behind his back, and defendant tensed his arms. Additional officers arrived and detained P.
Judge, I know it's not, you don't argue.
Tensed his arms? Really?
Judge, I know it's not time to argue probable cause, so I'd like
No,
to
no, 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 no.
push it out a little bit.
I already got it.
Yeah, Judge.
I understand. What kind, just you're tensing your arms? That's madness. We have enough cases. Come on. No, I'm going to find no probable cause. Just remember, when you're out there in the free world, if you're going to get lit, be very careful. Do you understand, Mr. Thurston?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, did you want to say something?
No, it's okay, Judge. We're dismissing the case.
Oh, thank you.
Just be careful, really? Okay, all right, we got you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Pence. Doing the right thing. I got it. That's why.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, always a pleasure, Mr. Haggard.
Good seeing you, Judge.
You are Francisco Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez, you're charged with tampering with a government record. You're facing up to a year in jail and/or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The officer was conducting a patrol and observed a vehicle with a temporary tag. The officer ran a search that did not come back with a return. Traffic stop was conducted, and the officer made contact with the driver, who said this was their father's car, and he got the tag. Officers were able to speak with the defendant, who stated he was a construction worker, and he was given the car as payment. The defendant stated he bought the tags off some lady on WhatsApp, and the defendant said the lady advised him it was all legit. The defendant stated he met the lady once to receive the plate, but since then, the plates get mailed every month. The defendant paid her $75 a month and had bought approximately 10 plates from her.
Mr. Rodriguez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Tell me, are you a United States citizen? Are you in this country with or without permission?
Excuse me?
Are you in this country with or without permission?
No, I don't have permission.
What happens if you go to jail?
¿Cómo? ¿Qué le pasa si va a la cárcel? I don't know.
Think.
Piense.
No, pues, ¿qué me pasa si voy a la cárcel?
What would happen to me if I go to jail, you said?
Are you in this country with or without permission, Mr. Rodriguez?
Estoy sin permiso ahorita porque estoy queriendo ya arreglar.
I'm
without permission right now, pero bueno. Quiero que piense.
No, pues, yo sé que no está bien que esté sin permiso.
I don't think it's okay that I'm without permission.
Immigration sweeps the jail on a daily basis. Every couple hours, immigration goes through to see who is in custody without permission in this country. And if they find you, they will put a detainer on you and you will sit in jail until the case is over with and then shipped off to immigration, where you will sit for another 6 to 9 months waiting for immigration to do whatever they're going to do. If you do not want that to happen, do not violate the conditions that I set forth. Do not pick up any new cases. If I find that you do, then I'm going to put you in jail. And if you're unlucky enough, you will be there for an extremely long time. You understand?
Okay.
Okay, yes.
Do you have a Texas driver license?
De conducir de Texas?
Tengo, pero está expirado.
I do, but it's expired.
So you don't have a Texas driver
No tiene
license.
licencia de conducir de Texas.
You are not allowed to drive.
Puede manejar.
Can you run his license, please?
There's no license on file in our system.
You are not allowed to drive, Mr. Rodriguez. And I'm telling you now, I don't care what is going on in your life. Until you have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, you're not allowed to drive. And if I find that you do, you can be facing a lot of time in jail.
This hearing ended with the defendant receiving probation instead of immediate jail, but Judge David Fleischer made it unmistakably clear that this was not a free pass. Throughout the proceeding, he stressed that repeated DWI offenses create increasingly serious legal consequences, and that future violations would likely result in jail time, stricter supervision, and additional financial penalties. The judge also reminded the defendant that every decision made after leaving the courtroom would shape both his future and the safety of everyone sharing the road. Rather than focusing only on punishment, the court emphasized personal responsibility, rehabilitation, and preventing another dangerous mistake before it happens. Whether this defendant takes advantage of this opportunity now depends entirely on the choices he makes moving forward. If you found this case as intense as we did, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful courtroom breakdowns.